This is a Liebherr A900 CZW rubber tire excavator. It's made by NZG and it's in 1/50th scale. Now this is a great model for a number of reasons. Right off the bat you can see it's a specialized railroad excavator. It's got the high rail mounted to the frame, and something else that's really interesting, if you look at the cab, it's got two doors here because it's got two seats. I'd imagine you hop in there, and if you gotta go a good ways down from where a crossing is, you can bring a laborer or helper, whoever, with you, and you can both travel safely down the rails. And that's something that's very important. The railroad is such a safety focused industry that I'd imagine they are very fond of having a cab setup like this where you could take two people safely on one machine. But enough of that. This is one of those models where NZG started to get really good with the details. Everything is very good on this model, and you can see it's blue. It's for our company colors for Van Roon rail. I'm not exactly sure where they're out of, somewhere in Europe, but they have a blue and white and orange color scheme, and it's a very good looking excavator. Very good colors. You can see the hydraulic hose detailing is very good. I mean, everything is there. The only thing that's missing is the remote lines that come down to the bucket, and it has a tilt bucket, but there's no cylinders in there. It's just simply a swivel, which is a little unfortunate given the rest of the detail that's on the machine, but it's still pretty good. I'd rather have it swivel without hoses or cylinders than not. The cab detail is pretty good. You got some nice lettering here on the door. The interior is pretty good. I like that it's got the wiper on the roof. That's pretty neat. And you got mirrors and wipers and everything. And it looks really pretty good. NZG did a very good job on this excavator. And like I said, it's right there at the time period where they started to get much better with their detail. And it was also the time where the price didn't really change a whole lot. So you were getting better detail for about the same price as what you were paying, a year or two prior. And it's very, very good. Underneath, you don't have a whole lot. You got steering on one axle, which is not terribly good. I mean, you only get, that's half of nothing right there. But it's not the worst I've seen. You got four little outriggers that come down. I mean, really, you have enough to study the machine, and that's about it. And that's all it's really good for anyway. And they're pretty stiff. If you want them to, they will hold the machine up. And the high rail axles, they also come down, and they're very, very stiff. Again, they'll definitely hold up the excavator. And probably one of the best parts about this machine is that it comes with your own little section of track. And this will it'll set right in there, and you can set it up like it's working. I don't know if they sell any more sections of this, or if you'd even want more sections, but it does look pretty darn good. Now, you do have little couplers there. You have one on either end. So imagine you could hook up to a little rail car, full of ballast or whatever, and pull that along with you. That's pretty neat. Now, you do have a coupler here on the end of the stick, because you can pull, it's got two pins there, and the tape is there still holding them in. Anyway, you pull the two pins, and you also have this little clamshell bucket, and the clamshell is really very good. You got your two cylinders there, and it opens up, and it looks pretty darn good. You got, some teeth there definitely not a bad clamshell. It's pretty pretty solid. So anyway, like I say, you pop the bucket off, you pop the clamshell on. Overall, it's a pretty good deal. Pretty neat, I think. As far as the cylinders go and the range of motion, it is definitely very, very good. You have that same boom that's on pretty much every rubber tire excavator. I've only seen a couple that have like a standard one-piece boom. But what's also interesting is you have this knuckle here in the center of your boom that lets you swivel your boom left and right, the whole thing, which is pretty neat. You see it on some older, the older, smaller excavators. You don't see it very often these days, but they're still around. So that's a pretty interesting option to have. I can definitely see where it'd be pretty handy to have, especially on a machine like this that's set up to do rail work. Overall, this is a very unique, interesting piece. It's definitely different, and it's not going to fit in with a whole lot of other parts of the collection unless you happen to have an awful lot of railroad oriented models, which there aren't many of. However, it still stands that it's unique, it's interesting, it looks good, it's very well done, and I'm not sure if there's too many other company colors. I know there's standard yellow, and then there's this blue for Van Roon. Both are nice. I like the blue a little bit better. I think the colors are very good. Anyway, that's about it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I like it a lot. Anyway, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. As always, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast.